Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Tuesday? Hope you're having a good one. The eclipse is over. Huh. You don't have to talk about that anymore. Hey, you know what? If you could like, share, subscribe, boy, we'd appreciate it. That helps us out so much. Akumugan says, thank God it wasn't a Tesla. Yeah. I don't think it'd be a good idea to drive to Wayne County, Utah in a Tesla. Because I don't know where the next charging station would be. It would be. Well, this thing's got a range of like, what, 300 miles or something? And up and down the mountains, it might even be less. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. That's just me. I've been in the Teslas, and they seem really cool on the inside as far as being wired up. They're really wired up. I like that about them. And the people that I know that have them that live in a city, you got to pay a little more for them on the front end, but they are saving, they don't buy gas, pretty cheap, but whatever. Enough of that. Diana O'Brien has joined us. She's from Shrewsbury, Shropshire, over the pond, as they say. Nice to see you, Diana. And I'm going to tell you today about video rental stores. Once you could throw a rock and hit them. There was so many of them. And now, they ain't no more. Or supposedly there's one. There's a lot of controversy behind that, too, by the way. What the last Blockbuster is. Julian Zeezer has joined us. He says, howdy. Howdy, Julian. Nice to see you. We'll just vamp here for 5 minutes until some people get in here. Uncle Rico at 8 Eastern on the Shuli Network. So we'll be out of here top of the hour. 1 hour, well, actually 59 minutes and 30 seconds from now. Akumugan says, I would have to be on the show to go over the downsides to EV cars that no one tells you. I'm sure I've been told. I'm quite certain I've been told, believe me. I am so sure that I've been told about that. A lot. Let's see here. Speaking of our good friend Aku Mugen, we showed you a truck that he was working on just about 2 weeks ago. He's fallen 17 times since then. But just look at the results. Remember the way that thing looked when he started working on it? Well, look at it now. It looks brand spanking new to me. Oh, Shanny. And so Aku got that working, even though it cost him several battles with gravity. He got that together. Got it together. As you can see behind me, there's an assortment of VHS tapes to choose from. What section is this? Thriller? I can't read the other two. Aku says he only lost 2 fingers. Well, you got 6 more and a couple of thumbs left. I say that you're coming out on the winning end of that particular exchange. Julian Caesar says, nice pick. I don't know which ones you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about Aku's virtuosity with auto painting and such. And welding. Lyndon says, good day, all. Good day to you, Lyndon. Always nice to see everybody coming into the chat room. Our newly monetized, spanking new chat room that's just, boy, oh boy. It's a focal point of praise and pleasure that adds a charm and warmth to any room. For those of you keeping score at home. 2 more minutes, and then we're going to get into the whole deal on video rental stores. Man, I used to love those stores. Let's see. Aku says, I'll report in with other projects as they make attempts against my well-being. I think that's everybody's job. Attempts against your well-being. I think that's pretty much any job that you have that's why they pay you, Although sometimes I do tell people, I haven't said this in a long time because I'm not a lot nicer now. But in the past, I have said to people, I do this job for free. They pay me to be around you. Hey, why don't we all get together after? Hey, you remember, they have to pay me to be around you. So why would I? Let's see here. Fat Pig the Conqueror says, most of the mom and pop stores made a bunch of money on the side bootlegging tapes. Was not aware of that, although I will get into a certain part of that economically. Chef is in the house, Randy Ramos. He's there in Union Station in Indianapolis, cooking up some delicacies and pizza for folks. Inconvenience fees are applicable. Oh boy, those fees, man, they'd hit you with those. But that whole industry, it came and went pretty quick. Akko, did you really get a concussion or was that a joke? I think if you got the concussion, you may not be able to answer that question. Just my own opinion. All right, let's see here. I better open my thing, because people count on me for that. Opening of my thing. Hopefully we're not going to have any problems. Okay? Hopefully we're just not going to have any problems today because I don't want to deal with it. Let's see here. Lyndon says, Tom looking to get rich quick. Is my Blockbuster card worth anything? I bet you can sell it on eBay for some money. No joke, I had a headache for a solid week. I'm so sorry to hear that, Aku. Take it easy, brother. Take it easy. Pew, pew, everybody. Pew, pew, right back to you, Joker. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. Okay, I got one more to read before I get into this. Some guy I know got a concussion early February. Today was the first day he could work out. Yeah, that'll mess with you. Sonny Jenna says, I loved video rental stores. Well, we're getting into the whole legend and lore of that. Hey, look out. That's from his second job, he says. Sunday Jenna says, oh, hey, Tom Gully. Oh, hey, Sunday Jenna. All right, we'll just put that picture up there. That's in Austin, Texas, by the way. Now, video rental stores, you might think they started sort of in the 80s, and you might think they started here. The world's oldest business renting out copies of movies for your home use was a film reel rental shop owned by Eckhard Baum in Kassel, Germany in the summer of 1975. And he collected movies on Super 8 as a hobby because they used to actually show movies on Super 8. They'd put major motion pictures on Super 8. And he was lending these to friends and acquaintances, but he came up with the idea of renting them as a sideline. Okay, now and then over the years, he added videotapes and optical discs. And he still, as of April of last year, operates that business. And there's a documentary about him called Eckes Welt by the well-known director Olaf Sommer. Right now, the first professionally managed video rental store in the United States, Video Station, was opened by a guy named George Atkinson in December of 1977 at 12011 Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles, which is kind of I don't know if it's technically in Hollywood, but it's in a happening spot. And so 20th Century Fox signed this agreement to license this guy 50 of their film titles for sale directly to consumers. And these were not small, out of the way, who wants to watch some movies? There's Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, MASH, Hello Dolly, Patton, The French Connection, The King and I, The Sound of Music. And so Atkinson bought all the titles. He bought all of the supply that this guy had for sale to consumers, and he started renting them. He only bought the ones that were available on VHS or Betamax formats. Now, after he started doing his thing, other chains popped up, like West Coast Video, Blockbuster Video, Rogers Video, Hollywood Video. There's a lot of legal around this because Sony started selling video recorders in the mid-'70s, and subsequently Universal and Disney filed a lawsuit against Sony because they wanted to ban the sale of VCRs and also the rental of movies, which would have completely destroyed the video rental business. But the Supreme Court went, no, they get to do that. Sorry. Now, here's another thing. A lot of the first mom and pops in the United States, the little stores, the ones that weren't part of a chain, and believe me, at first, there were no chains. There were absolutely no chains. There was just little businessmen, normally families, doing business, renting out videos. They all started renting VHS and Sony Betamax because the movies were on both formats. I can remember the day that Betamax announced we're not producing any more videotape for commercial use. Now, Sony Beta is still actually used in some news gathering operations. To be honest with you, most of them have moved to digital now, but for a long time it was still in use as the standard. But once they did that and said we're not selling any more player units or recorder units either, I can remember the video stores had all of their Beta out in front of the store in these little shallow tables that they're just like, we got to get rid of these because they're going to be worth nothing. And they weren't really worth that much to begin with. I mean, only the people that first bought the recorders had Sony Beta. Once VHS came out, everybody went to VHS. So the other thing I can remember is at that time, and this goes to what someone in the chat was saying, you could rent the movie for whatever, depending upon the plan at the various store that you went to. You might pay a monthly fee and then your videos were real cheap. You might pay, 99 cents for one, and, for 5 of them, it was $3. It just depended. But if you wanted to buy one of those, or if you didn't return it, it was almost $200 for that movie. And that was staggering back in the day, because they weren't really selling these tapes. You could buy them. Yes, you could buy them. I remember a really close friend of mine bought Night of the Living Dead on Sony Betamax. Now, Night of the Living Dead is a public domain film, but just to get it on the tape, he paid $200 for it. And well worth it, I might add. So you had to pay a lot of money. That was the threat if you didn't bring the tape back. It's like, well, we charge you late fees, but if you don't bring the tape back, we're eventually going to hit you for $200. And bam, that tape came back real quick. So in the 80s, a lot of these, I got to put up another picture here for you guys. I want you to go picture. Hey, who doesn't remember this on a Friday night, right? I got to say that the video stores were also very social places. You'd talk to people about movies. You'd see people that you knew. And once the chains opened up, especially big ones like Blockbuster that had a lot of square footage, that might be a good place to, before Tinder and Bumble, all that might be a good place to meet somebody. You know what I'm saying? But where wasn't in the 80s? Really, anywhere was a place to meet somebody in the 80s. I'm sorry. In the 80s, these stores started also offering video games for rental. And some of the early cartridges were Donkey Kong, Frogger, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So there you go. By the mid-80s, 1985, the United States had 15,000 video rental stores. And that doesn't include the record stores, the grocery stores, and the drug stores that also rented videotapes. Now, just 3 years later, there were 25,000 video rental only stores, in addition to 45,000 other outlets like record stores, grocery stores, drug stores. I mean, you could be anywhere, any kind of store, sporting goods store, and there'd be movies for rent there. Everybody was doing it. Some of the grocery stores I can remember would rent you a tape for like 49 cents, like a lost leader, just to get you in there to buy other stuff. You just go get your own movie whenever you want and watch it. Customers of all ages went to these video stores too. That's what made it such an incredible market. Is high school kids went there, old people went. I mean, people in their 70s and 80s went there. By 1987, Pennsylvania had 537 stores that primarily rented videotapes, with an actual sort of annual per resident spend of $10.50. And 6 years after opening, West Coast Video had 700 stores. And in 1987, and this is huge, home video rental, renting movies for home viewing, surpassed that year's box office revenue at the theater. And that's when all the motion pictures companies went, well, hey, there's gold in them there. And they started raising their prices to let the stores rent these movies out to people. That's also when they started providing movie posters and cardboard stand-ups and all sorts of crazy things in the video stores connected to a certain movie. And a lot of these movies knew that if they were doing merchandising, they had to be in Blockbuster. They had to be in West Coast Video. And then that's where you would buy T-shirts from the movie and you would buy drinking cups from the, you know what I'm saying. So in the 1980s, it was also common for some of these shops to rent equipment like the VHS players as well as the tapes. And some of these little mom and pops also had a back room. Normally it was just a curtain, right? And we all know what was back there. And you didn't want to be seen coming out of there if you were a confirmed bachelor. So anyway, during the late 90s, some changes occurred. The biggest one was that DVDs started appearing in the video rental stores, right? And let's get another picture up here. This is a good example of DVD. I got to tell you, this Redbox thing, there was one outside my grocery store. I watched a lot of Redbox videos. It was so convenient. It was a vending machine. You just went, you did the deal, you got your movie, you watched it, you brought it back. Oh, it was so good. I saw one like 4 years ago, a Redbox. By the way, also at a certain point, these movies were for sale. Okay, now they might be $25 or $30, but you could buy them. And the price plummeted after a while, especially, see, a store would get 10 or 15 copies of a popular movie because they knew they were going to rent them all out. So they rent them, and at a certain point, they're like, this ain't actually renting anymore. We need to get rid of about all but 2 of these. And that's when they would sell them to you. So when the DVDs came out, they started appearing in the rental stores. But more importantly, and a lot of people don't remember this, but I know all of you will, Netflix would rent you a DVD, either on an individual basis or a monthly subscription, and then they mailed it to you. And when you were done, you mailed it back. Okay. And actually, Netflix could rent these to you at a very affordable price because, the DVD doesn't weigh anything. So the postage wasn't that big. And they don't have a store. They don't have a bunch of high school kids working there. They don't have popcorn they're making there. They don't have any of that. They're just sending it to you. You're sending it back. That's it. I love the red box. I got to tell you, I so love the red box. With the advent of the World Wide Web, though, and once things became available for streaming, these stores started closing down like crazy. On January 5th, 2021, Glenview-based Family Video announced it was closing all of its remaining video rental stores. And that was the last remaining video rental chain in the United States. That was an end to all the chains. And frankly, that thing was probably 10 or 15 years past when they should have closed it down, right? So anyway, a lot of people believe, and I agree with them to a certain extent, that the video rental store, and was there a better one than Blockbuster? The video rental store actually is responsible for igniting the movie culture that we have today, because it was a place where everybody came together. And when you were there, and you can share your own experiences in the chat, you would talk to people about movies. You'd say, have you seen this one? Or, hey, that's a great choice. And then you started talking about it, and you found out there were other people that were crazy about movies too, all over the place. And people started chatting about what to watch and why to watch it. So film lovers had a place to congregate. And also, here's another one. Unlike a movie theater, even a big movie plex that might have, 8 different screens showing or 12, a video store had 1,000 there. So you could actually do something that you couldn't do on television, because this was all before on demand. You could browse and discover things. I haven't seen this, or wow, that looks interesting. You could also get gypped by really good cover of a video, and then you watch the movie. It was awful. So anyway, people like to be around other people when they're picking a movie. They also like to chat up the expert that's standing next to them, a regular person, or the people in the store. Have you seen this? Is it any good? I don't know, man. If you like a movie where, a lot of stuff blows up, it's pretty good, but, it's not a story, and that. You got to do that there. There are, a few video rental stores that still remain. They're generally not from the chain. There's a great one in Toronto called Bay Street Video. And they have movies that go back to the beginning of filmmaking, from the first silent films to right up to today. And they also have a selection that is more than you can find on the internet. And they have things there that you cannot find on the internet to stream. So keep that in mind. The demise of the video store also really kind of hurt independent film production, because when those large chains collapse, now these independent films have to find a way to get shown somewhere. Now, certainly they can be shown on Netflix and HBO Prime and all that stuff. But when the video chains existed, those independent films could just sell in through an entire chain. And if it had a couple big stars in it, didn't have to have a big budget, probably it was going to get there. That's not the case for streaming television, on-demand television, and certainly not the case for the movie theaters. Incidentally, I watched so many VHS movies at my house. And I also recorded so many. When my monthly, yes, we all used to get a catalog every month of all of the stuff that was on cable. Okay. I would go through the movie channels and I would program my VCR to record everything I wanted to watch at that slow 6-hour speed or whatever. And I did this so much that I had a special machine that I guess they used to have at video stores that did nothing but rewind the videotapes. So instead of having it in my VCR, zoom, 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 waiting forever, this thing would high speed rewind these tapes. And we all remember the phrase, be kind, please rewind. Anyway, there were some video stores that would charge you $1 if you didn't rewind the film, which I think is wrong. But anyway, I can tell you this. I can tell you that they actually have kept records of the top rentals, the movie rentals, not the theater rentals, but individual people rental. So up until 1998, the number one rented movie was Star Wars Special Edition. And it generated, just from people renting it at a store, taking it home and playing it, $271 million, which is over $500 million in today's money. Number two was E.T., the extraterrestrial. It made $228 million, $443 million in today's money. Now, here are the top ranking rented movies from 1987 to 1997. So it's a 10-year period, all right? Number 10, Dances with Wolves. Number 9, The Lion King. Number 8, Forrest Gump. Number 7, Terminator, Judgment Day. It's Terminator 2. Beauty and the Beast is number 6, and that's the top Disney rental, by the way. Disney animated, old school. Number 5, Ghost. Number 4, The Little Mermaid. I guess that might be Disney too. Number 3, Home Alone. Number 2, Pretty Woman. And the number 1 for that 10-year period, Top Gun. Top Gun. Now, I think I'm a little bit motivated to tell you these as well, because this was kind of during the heyday of movie rentals, the years 1993 to 1996. I'll just give you the top 5. In 1993, the top 5 were: number 1, well, let's do it the reverse order. It's a little more suspenseful that way. Number 5, Beauty and the Beast. Number 4, The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner. Number 3, A Few Good Men. Number 2, Steven Seagal, Under Siege. And number 1, the number 1 rented movie in the VHS days of 1993, Sister Act. Okay, 1994. Number 5, Jurassic Park. Number 4, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Number 3, The Firm. Number 2, The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. And number 1, Mrs. Doubtfire. In 1995, number 5 was Speed. Number 4 was The Mask. Number 3 was True Lies, which I just watched again recently. It's awesome. Number 2 was The Lion King. And number 1 was Forrest Gump. In 1996, number 5 was Independence Day. Number 4 was What's in the Box? 7. Number 3 was Twister. Number 2 was Babe, that pig movie. And number 1 was Braveheart. Yes. Yes. For the year of 1997, I'm going to give you some box office figures here. I'll just do the top 5. This movie is kind of disappeared a little bit, but I watched it again recently. It's really, really good, I think. Number 5 was a movie with Mel Gibson called Ransom. And it was rented over 17 million times. It made $46 million, which is just in that 1 year, which is about $88 million today. Number 4, The First Wives Club, also rented over 17 million times, made $47 million, which is $90 million in today's money. Number 3 was A Time to Kill, rented over 18 million times in the year of 1997. Revenue was over $50 million, and that's $96 million in today's money. Number 2, Liar Liar, Jim Carrey, and it was rented 21 million times. $57 million in revenue, which is $108 million in today's dinero. Number 1 in 1997 was Jerry Maguire, rented 22.5 million times, $60 million in revenue, and inflation makes it $114 million in rental income. So there's just a little bit about the video rental store, gone but not forgotten. And I liked all the video rental stores. I love the little mom and pops in my hometown. I really did. I liked the people. I knew them personally. It was nice. But did they have as many titles? No. Were a lot of the movies you wanted to see out? Yes. Did they have a lot of sort of counterculture, difficult to find stuff? No. I've told you guys before about the dude in Broad Ripple in Indianapolis that had a garage. And if you wanted to see Blood Feast by Herschel Gordon Lewis, you weren't going to find it anywhere else but his place. But then Blockbuster came along and I liked it too. Big, giant, wide aisles, well designed inside, good lighting, beautiful copies of the movie that weren't beaten up and dog-eared because everybody was using the same one copy. They had specials. They had popcorn. They had popcorn popped there. They had popcorn you could take home and pop. They had sodas and Twizzlers, and it was like a movie concession stand in there. And then they had all the decorations, and you could buy a shirt, and you could... And it was really, though, the conversation with people. I can't tell you how many staggeringly beautiful women I had absolutely no problem walking up to at a video store and talking to about a movie because I'm a movie expert. I know tons and tons about movies and felt absolutely none of the shame and fear that I would have felt at any other locale. So... rest in peace, video rental store. We hardly knew ye. We really hardly knew ye. Let's go find out about your video store experiences and the number of reps that the wolf did today. Just managed to see that as I was scanning. Oh, let's see. Where did I leave off here? Pew, pew, everybody. Concussions. We cover a lot of topics on this program every day. And we are monetized. By the way, if you're watching right now, like, share, subscribe, retweet, do all those things that are free. We'd love it if you did that. But we're monetized. YouTube is the preferred way to watch the Tom Gully Show. If you'd like to come in, leave us a little something, a little something for the effort. we wouldn't be mad at you. In the crawl at the bottom, there's a lot of other ways to contribute. And of course, you can get merchandise and other things that is very stylish. I have to say, we have some very stylish merchandise. Let me just get Producer Joe's mug up here again. Where's that at? There it is. Let me get Producer Joe's mug up there. Look at that, folks. Look at the Tom Gully Show. Hey, come on. There's got to be 50 things on my show store that have that logo on them. And who wouldn't want a thing with that logo on it? Really, seriously. It's a wonderful thing. Let's see. That's my second job. I'm new here. It's okay. I'm new here. Hey, SG, good to see you. Please be kind and rewind. Mine was always be kind, please rewind, was the way I always heard it. But you may have lived somewhere else. Fat Pig the Conqueror, a name that I have come to love after only reading two of his chats. Roddy McDowell used to borrow film reels directly from the studios and copy the 1/4-inch tape at a recording studio. Yes, he did. A lot of these Hollywood bigwigs also had they had a film library of their own because they had a theater in their house, and they had amazing prints of really cool movies. But some of them, when video recording came out with video cameras, would show the movie and kind of bootleg it. They put it on the screen, and then they would videotape what was on the screen. Dino Bryan says, you've had a haircut. I did. I won't know tomorrow how good until tomorrow. You never know till the next day, really, how good it is, do you? Beware of the small room off to the side. Yes, please. Beware of the small room. Fat Pig the Conqueror says, gas stations. Yes, gas stations used to rent videotapes. There were so many places. I mean, yeah, the grocery stores and all those other ones, but there were, I would be stunned sometimes. You guys rent videos here? Yeah, we got about 20. Truck stops? You bet. It's rare, but I've stumbled across small gas stations still selling VHS. Aku, I've run across the same thing. It's kind of like when you go to a truck stop, like a triple flying J or a big truck stop that all the truckers stop at, and they have a giant, like almost like mini mart, and it's got T-shirts, and they'll sell you CB antennas, and they also sell cassette tapes there. Cassette tapes of Conway Twitty or George Jones. Nice, says Fat Pig the Conqueror. Terry Nee says, I'm slow to buy technology. It wasn't until Blockbuster that I went and bought a DVD player. I'm a slow, we're what they call slow adopters. We gotta know that's not a fly-by-night thing like Laserdisc or something. Hey, gang. Hey, Kahuna. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Julian Caesar says the last video rental place here in the neighborhood transitioned to a tanning salon. Kahuna says, will there be swearing tonight? Well, it just depends on how many super chats I get. Right now I'm at 0. And I've come up with an interesting theory. Is it worse to not be monetized and make no money? Or is it worse to actually be monetized and make no money? Because I think the second one is more shameful, really. It hurts. Let's see. STDs back there. Dude, you could get an STD looking into the back room of some of these places. And you didn't want to touch the curtain, by all means. Fat Pig the Conqueror says, my friend used to stock those machines. Oh, the Redbox? I love Redbox. Man, I love that place. People saying hi in our very cheerful, we've got the most cheerful chat room on the internet. And I say that with no fear of contradiction. Kumugan says, I remember when DVD players hit the market, reasonably priced at $1,000, and those things skipped if you sneezed on the other side of the house. Yeah. There are still a couple of red boxes still around here. Yes, Kahuna. Yes. Trevor Garner has made his way in. Hello, Trevor. Nice to see you. Your buddy, the fireman's upset because I keep giving my opinion of him here on the show, but only when he comes in here, except for now. but he can just be upset. Never had Redbox here, or it would have been really convenient in the UK. Oh, Diana, I hope you had a UK equivalent of that. I do. Too much freedom for the UK. Oh, hey now. The Wolf says, Blockbuster video, wow, what a difference. I still have and use my rewinder. I figured you had one. And the Wolf, unaware of the fact that we talked about him extensively after he ran out of the room just because StreamYard chose to make my show last night a mess. Let's see here. Fat Pig the Conqueror. Love that name. They used to put the warped and deformed tapes out on the counter with a sign that said, don't leave tapes in the car. I've seen those. They're all warped and yeah. The Wolf says hello. People saying hello. Wolf is having his workout time. And then after that, he'll eat 6 large pizzas. Hey, Jocker. Easy now. Aku says, just remember, Wolf, it's gravity that makes leg day the worst day. Tom Gully. Anthony Schultz, how are you? Nice to see you, Anthony. Bob Levy was in True Lies. No, he wasn't. Joker, is that real? Is that true? I'll look it up. Leg day was my favorite day. Close stance squats, 6 by 12 with 675 pounds in, much, much more. Oh, yeah, the Wolf. He could squat some now. Today, chest, 90 by 50 reps. Man. I just pulled a pec reading that. Jokerfish says video rental stores went the way of the payphone. They kind of did. I'd have to be quicker sending in materials to make the show. I'll have to be, well, Aku, I could have converted that photo, but there's so much controversy about the last Blockbuster. There's some people in Bend, Oregon that think theirs is the last. And then there's some people in Canada that think theirs is the last. And then there's some people in Alaska that think theirs is the last. And I don't want to get in the middle of that. I don't. The Wolf says, hey, you can still find payphones. Really? Where? Hospital, maybe? Something like that? Government building? I saw a payphone at Penn Station in Newark, New Jersey. Yep, that's a place you would see one. Or a bus station. You probably would see one there. Julian Caesar said they might still be in business if it wasn't for the unreasonable draconian rewind policy. Yeah, that's what did them in. Hey, rewind it yourself. You're in the business. Why are you letting a layman like me rewind it? You guys know how. ADHD radio. Yes. Should that be and radio? Team Frog. We're all Team Frog here. A mug large enough to cut hair with. Yes. Love Joe's mug. We all love all the mugs. I never could figure out how to rewind those darn DVDs. Let's see here. I made many a copy from Netflix mail delivery. Yeah, well, that's it. Remember those machines they had where there'd be, like, you could put the one DVD on this side and then the blank one on the other, and it would just burn them for you. It would also, you could hook up your VCR and burn those to DVD, or play the B-sides of a DVD. Well, some DVDs do have a B-side to them. If you flip them over, they play special features or whatever. People saying hi. We still have Redbox in our area. You're lucky. I love Redbox. Let's see here. I'm listening from a distance while gathering some snacks. I miss Blockbuster. My vast Looney Tunes collection is from their sell-offs. Hey, Tom. Hey, Angry Snowball. Did someone say pizza? Oh, SG Fanboy. Gosh, thank you so much. That is so generous. It says, driving home while listening to this really brought back memories. I can still smell those vinyl VHS tape sleeves. Thanks, buddy. Hey, SG Fanboy, remember the Blockbuster? If the movie itself didn't have like a really good, like if it was an older movie or something like that, it would have that industrial strength Blockbuster case that like you couldn't shoot a bullet through. I mean, it was just so, and yeah, the smell of it, it smelled like Smelled like a couch got set on fire or something. It was very vinily. Thank you again, SG Fanboy. That is very, very generous. Thank you. Jokerfish says, Bob's hairdo looked like Jamie Lee Curtis, so everybody gives him the business. Okay, yeah, I do recall that now. But he looks like Jamie Lee Curtis now. Back then, her hair wasn't that way. Back then, Papa Mau Mau. Aku says, it's one of the last buildings here in Canada. When I did the research, there was a building in New Jersey that had a Blockbuster with that. Remember that thing on the pole they had that looked like the ticket that would be out front of them too? And then the Blockbuster itself with the awnings and all that. The Blockbuster had been closed for like over a decade, but the building and the sign were still there. Nobody sold leased the space, did anything. And then it finally got removed, like just last year. But it hadn't been operating for a long time. Terry Nee says, leg day is my favorite days. The gals short are showing up. Fat Pig the Conqueror says, I remember being 13 and renting some of the nastiest movies like Make Them Die Slowly, Faces of Death, but they drew the line at Caligula, which they kept right out on the wall. Well, Faces of Death did so well. There's like 5 versions of that. And, you know, everybody had to see Faces of Death. And then you grew up and found out that half of the stuff, not all of the stuff, but half of the stuff in Faces of Death was shenanigans. It wasn't even real. Make Them Die Slowly. I Spit on Your Grave was another one. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. I could go through quite a list of what the British call video nasties, and actually censored. You couldn't get them, but I won't. But Fat Pig, the Conqueror, I do recall exactly what you're talking about. I wanted to see all the Herschel Gordon Lewis movies, like Blood Feast and 2000 Maniacs and stuff like that. I was very much into that. SG does remember the industrial strength generic Blockbuster case. I can also remember when like one of the Indiana Jones movies would come out and it'd say, we have 50 copies or something like that on the front, so that you knew when you went in there, you had a good shot at being able to rent one. Nothing was worse than going into a video rental store and not being able to get the movie that you wanted. And frankly, that was true even if the movie was old and stuff. And you went, remember, because they would keep the boxes, the actual boxes, right, on the shelf. And you'd go to get it, and it would be really light. It would like jump off the shelf because, oh man, it's rented. Because a lot of them, they kept the good movie poster copy of the thing there, and then they would put them in that generic, SG brought it up, that generic box. So, you know, whatever. Yeah, most of the Faces of Death was fake. It was really fake. Trevor Garner, because he has nothing better to do than say things that are mildly annoying. He says, I was on the Derek Relaford show today. Is there such a thing? Isn't that still called bedroom or bathroom or something? Trevor, if you make me, I will play an audio clip of Derek Relaford. But I haven't thought about Derek Relaford or mentioned Derek Relaford, or his existence was completely forgotten by me until you brought him up here. Thank you. And I got no problems with him. Just go do your thing, Derek. Please go do your thing. Sounds gruesome. I don't know what you're talking. Oh, the Faces of Death. Yeah, it was most of it was fake, but it was gruesome, even though it was fake. Let's see here. Terry Nee. Thank you, Terry Nee. $5. I appreciate it. Here, Jimmy Swaggart. Stop crying. Just kidding. He's 89. Jesus isn't ready yet. not crying. I'm just saying. I wasn't crying. If I was going to cry, I would have cried yesterday. Derek is a great guy. Man, no, he's not. Not to me. Fat Pig the Conqueror says the big box Herschel Gordon Lewis tapes were great. Paint Me Blood just had a woman with her guts hanging out on the cover. Yeah. And the Gore Girls. And, there was so many of them. Good old Herschel Gordon Lewis, not one to spare the fake blood. By the way, phone lines are open. Numbers at the bottom. It was always nice to have connections at the rental store. Like I said, my Blockbuster number was 00189. I think I signed up the first week when Blockbuster started. 00189, you just doxed yourself. Paint me blood red. Yeah. Trevor Gardner says he likes you. Yeah, that's what you said the last time you told me about some Nimnol that I don't like was on your show. And then I listened to your show, and you guys just sat there and trashed me. Which is fine. I don't care. Go ahead. But you were like, hey, we were talking about you. Everybody was really happy. And then I listened to it, and it was like, come on. Docs. And Trevor says phones. Trevor, I don't know what that means, brother. But thank you. So thank you so much for that, Trevor. I wish I could tell you how tempted I am right now to play the Derek Relaford sound clip. Just to show you what a great guy he is. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that. I'm closing the phone lines. You trashing my kids? Are you trashing my kids? I am going to play the Derek Relaford sound clip. Hold on a second here. I got to look up something real fast because I think there's a better way to do it. Nope, there is. Hold on. Let's just do it this way. I hope this doesn't shut down the proceedings like yesterday. Let's see. How many movies do you recognize in the picture behind Tom's head? I don't know. I have to blow it up and go through them, but let me see here. Let me just do you all solid. Let me play the Derek Relaford sound clip. Derek Relaford followed me around. There was a period of time where I was on tons of streaming shows and podcasts. Tons. I was a highly sought after guest because of my charm and hilarious comedy. And in a second, let me see here. Is this it? I think it is. Let's just go ahead and let's open this in QuickTime. And then I think you guys can hear it. And then you can hear. Not only will you hear what a great guy Derek Relaford is, but you'll also realize what a good judge of character Trevor is. Now, he's probably a good guest for your show, Trevor. I hope you guys had a nice chat. I have nothing against Derek, but I do have this sound clip, and there's really no reason for me to have it unless I play it in situations just like this. But he followed me around to a lot of places and would try to start arguments with me, and I'd be like, what do you, why, just do your thing. Ooh, it's 1 minute and 27 seconds. Do I have time today? I do have. Here you go. Here's Derek Relaford.
Tom, you can talk all that shit, but dude, you called my show and we loved you as a caller. You were the best in the fucking chat room. I'll leave you alone.
There's going to be profanity here that I didn't remember being here, but some people on the internet have potty mouth. I, of course, am not one of them, but we present this to you now for posterity.
And I won't talk about you anymore, I promise. Never had a problem with you. I actually do. I listened to all of your shows until recently. I think you blocked me where I can't reach them. But I enjoy your show. I think you're funny as shit. I do not control the people that listen to my show that have taken the name, this whole Tom Goley thing, and run with it. Like I told them, that's why I made that video. I was like, shut the fuck up. Tom doesn't want us to talk about him, so I'm not going to say Tom's name anymore. And I made that. And then Alex, my co-host, went on there and talking, oh, fuck Tom. And I told him, I was like, dude, go fuck off, man. I was like, I don't care, dude. I was like, I'm not going to say Tom's fucking name anymore because he doesn't want me to say it. I really, honestly, truly have nothing but respect for you, dude. I think you're good at what you do. And you actually have a job doing this. I do this for free in my fucking spare bedroom. Like I get that you're kind of above me, man. So I don't know, man.
You did a specific podcast on your website about his show specifically.
No.
And
No.
he brought that up. It was not a long one. It was a little side one. Trust me, you did.
You read shitty copy for FM radio, dude. Like, anyway, Tom, you can hate me, dude. I don't hate you. That's fine, dude. But I won't say your name anymore. I won't waste any more of your guys' time, and I'll just keep doing my thing.
And that is how the situation has remained. That's how it's remained until Trevor decided to have him on his show. And I'm sure it was all unearthed on Trevor's program. And this, Trevor, is why we always have to be at arm's length, my man. I think, Trevor, I have nothing against you. I like you. But this is what you do. And so, whatever. And by the way, I apologize for all the profanity. I didn't realize it was in there. And it's the internet. I'm not going to get any trouble. It's not a big deal, but I do have a legitimate job and whatever. Terry Nee says, say his name. Say my name. What's my name? Such language. Yes, the language. Yeah, I hope he's doing better. I hope his family's doing well. I hope God, Trevor, it's been like 5 years since I had any interaction with that guy at all. And you just have to, bring it back. Thanks. Trevor. You and all of your mischievous ways. Diana O'Brien says, sounds like a real nice dude. Oh, yeah, he's a peach. Well, I don't know what else to say about that. Oh, Jokerfish says, go peddle your papers. We ought to do a show where we just, because we're in the 70s now on our slang term shows. So we're going to do the 70s, we're going to do the 80s, 90s. We might do the 2010s, but after the 2010s, I don't think there's any need. I mean, we got to stop because 2020, And but we might do one where you guys just all give, because there's so many great sayings out there, and Jokerfish just gave us one of them. Thank you, Joker. Go peddle your papers. There's one in our family, which is, don't you got something on the stove? If you're talking in a group of people and one of the people you don't want there anymore, it's known throughout our family. You go, don't you got something on the stove? In other words, don't you need to go check? Just go, leave. Lyndon says, what did we learn tonight? I think we learned a lot about videos. Hey, did anybody ever accidentally record over, like the red button fell out of the VHS and you accidentally recorded over one of the videotapes? We learned who knows their video tape history. We learned who knows their popcorn. 2020 slang, no lives matter. I'm not wearing that today. I wore it yesterday, though. I'm wearing my Dirty B right now. I have so many T-shirts. It's not even funny. And we'll get to see them now because the weather's getting nice. I don't have to wear all that. Diane O'Brien says, his mother's needs to wash his mouth out with soapy water. Exactly right. Rub some dirt in it. Yeah, rub some dirt on it. They would always say that when you got hurt in sports. Rub some dirt on it. Best thing for a contusion. Filth. Terry Nee says, Diana is right. Your haircut has to take 10 weeks off your age. Well, I let it get too long. And I won't know because, see, this side's always on the back end of, this side here is actually more the way I want it. But I got straight out of the shower to come do this, so I didn't really take too much time with it. Making brats for dinner. Yeah. The Earl Campbell Red Hots with the cheese inside them. Boom! World of Woke. I don't know what World of Woke is. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Julian Zeezer says, Tom has dysmorphia disorder. Just with my hair, maybe. If you looked like me, you'd have it too. Fat Pig the Conqueror says, some dude in New Jersey used to rent movies and tape him. Oh, hey. Whoa. Okay, everybody out of the pool. He used to do bad things that he shouldn't do and put them on the thing. Joker says, if you get hit with a baseball, you got to rub tobacco juice on it. Oh, yeah. Somebody spit on it real close. Lyndon says the Tyler Rose. Lyndon, I'm very impressed. Earl Campbell's nickname, which most people outside the state of Texas do not know. But here in Texas, we do know the Tyler Rose. Julian, I get it. I still have all my hair. It's annoying. I actually do. I get some leaves, but everybody's got me beat on teeth. He's jacked up, you know. I'd explained that to Bob when I was on his show, Bob Levy. I really enjoyed being on his show. He's like, get this loser a dentist. He goes, what's that all about? And I went, Bob, it's my teeth. They're pretty jacked up. Anyway, it's 1 minute until the start of an Uncle Rico. Not only do I want you to go watch Uncle Rico, I myself want to watch it. So I got to get out of here. And you guys have been awesome. I'd like to thank Terry Nee and SG Fanboy for their kind contributions today. That was freaking amazing. You guys are the best. And with all that being said, I will be here tomorrow and we'll do something else. And the only thing left to say really is, till next time, we'll see you next time.